Hello. So, if you've made it this far, you've received my guide and have gone through all the information I've sent you. So, thank you, and I hope you can now make more better decisions and more informed decisions and also pass it forward. It's so important that the right information is being shared with the ones who need. I've done this quick video to just explain why, because I know a lot of people will ask me why vitamin D3, why vitamin C. So just to go over the supplementation bits and also to close by giving you some more advice on how to handle times of stress. So D3. So these are some of the vitamins that I include on most of my my plans with my clients. Obviously, the dosage and the times and when they consume those are bespoke to them. But in terms of, we're going to start talking about, I've made some notes so that I just don't get sidetracked. So in terms of like D3, so D3 you can find D3 in like oily fish and animal liver, eggs. And we can also produce D3 from a skin reaction from 7-dehydrocholesterol and UV sunlight, so the sunlight exposure. However, the UV index has to be greater than 3, and here in the UK, that really only occurs during summer and spring, which is why it's so important to supplement. Now, like with every supplement, whether they're like minerals, vitamins, or amino acids, I always like to rotate. So I structure the consumption of the supplements with the nutrition as well. So it has, one thing has to follow the other. But as a like general guideline, I usually recommend anywhere between 1,000 and 2,000 IUs to be consumed intermittently. Okay. So one of the benefits of the vitamin D3 is that it helps boost your immune system, fight infection, and it has been shown to help fight cancer cells as well. Right, so the next one that I've recommended is the vitamin C. So vitamin C is a popular one whenever we start feeling like symptoms of cold and the flu. We try to like take vitamin C. That actually is, once the flu starts, it's almost like it's too late. So you need to be supplementing that throughout the year, really, whether you rotate it or not, and use that concurrently, like you with your nutrition. So it's an important, vitamin C basically is an important antioxidant. Okay. And it helps, like, what some of the benefits, it helps with iron absorption, it helps like lower the risk of coronary heart disease, and it also may help fight diabetes and cancer. Okay, so the main thing with the vitamin C is that it has a very strong antiviral action, and even though it can, so we human beings, we can't really produce vitamin C, so we have to get that through through our nutrition, through supplementation. And there are a few studies that show that viruses cannot survive in environments with high levels of vitamin C, so they struggle. So if you have a high consumption of vitamin C, you will the virus will struggle to survive, and you therefore won't develop any symptoms, because when it comes to viruses, it's like the flu. We are carriers, whether we develop symptoms or not. That's down to our immune system. Then the other supplement that I recommended with the probiotics, I've explained it in the guide. I'm a big fan of gut health and the importance that it plays on our immune system. But with the L-glutamine, so L-glutamine, for those who are not aware, it's an amino acid that can be synthesized in the body. However, when we're fighting injury or infection, they become essential. So we need more of that, or we need that to be able to absorb it and synthesize it properly. Now, another interesting fact about the L-glutamine is that when it's in short supply, our intestine, the lining of our intestine tract becomes leaky, which can increase toxicity in the body. So if you're supplementing with L-glutamine, that means you are fighting that action. So cells that need rapid, like a fast supply of L-glutamine are red blood cells and our immune cells. So we use L-glutamine a lot to support an individual's immune system. Now, an interesting fact, and that I've known for years, and I find it funny that even some coaches are not aware of that, because like the L-glutamine is very common amongst athletes, right? And the thing that's interesting, so you can get L-glutamine in eggs, meat, chicken. However, L-glutamine is a very delicate substance, and it's vulnerable to heat. So once you heat meat, chicken, eggs, which you would normally before consumption, it loses its properties, so it becomes inactive. So that's why it's so important to supplement it. And something that I've always told my clients is that, because they tend, like a lot of people mix that, they have their glutamines glutamine supplements in the morning, or like after a workout, and they mix it with a porridge where there's heat. Don't do that. Have it, like I've always, like, and if you've done a prep with me, I've always said mix it with about like 100 ml of water. Have it, not even with your shake, because that, again, once it starts to oxidize, you reduce its potency, so its strength. So have it before you have the shake, because sometimes it takes like a little too long to finish a protein shake. So have it before. Don't heat it, because you're pretty much just drinking expensive liquid. Right. Now, so these are the main supplements that I wanted to talk about. I've included in the nutrition part as well ginger, turmeric, cloves. What else did I include? Ginger. So all of these have a really strong antibacterial, antiviral, and parsley as well, and anti-inflammatory properties. So include them in your food, especially if you can sprinkle over after you cook it, to make sure that you keep its properties intact. Manuka honey, strong antiviral. So the leaf called Manuka, which is natural, so it originates in New Zealand, has very strong antibacterial and antiviral properties. And then the bees, when they pollinize the Manuka plant, they carry that onto the honey that they produce. So you can get a good, like a high strength, good quality Manuka honey in most farmers market, Whole Foods. Some supermarkets already sell them. I've seen them at Costco. Now I can't vouch for the quality of those ones. The one I usually go with farmers market or Whole Foods markets, and they have roughly, you get a jar of Manuka honey for between 20 and 30 pounds. And it depends on its strength as well. So good, like I always have a teaspoon of Manuka honey with my porridge, or I'll just have it like after a workout. I actually use Manuka honey as part of some of my clients' workout carbs, depending obviously on their needs. So that's another tip that I can give you, another bit of advice. Wild salmon, so especially line caught salmon, the ones that are not farmed, avoid. So always give preference to organic meats, organic fish, organic chicken, and water. Water is vital, and I cannot stress enough the importance of sleep. I've included a couple of tips as well for you to improve your sleep. That's when you're gonna release more melatonin and growth hormones, which are essential to our health, to our immune system. And also a couple of other bits you see on the dangers of soya and gut health, etc. Now, just my final considerations on that. Please don't panic. draw a line between being prepared and panicking. There are a few things, and I've included in the guide, that you can do to stay safe and also to ensure safety of others. I have very strong immune system because I've been looking after my health for many years. So I know that even though I am not gonna develop any symptoms, or at least not to the critical state, I may well become a carrier due to exposure to other people. And so I am doing my part. I'm wiping equipment before and after, in supermarket, like the trolleys. Make sure that you wipe them, that it doesn't hurt, to cover the basics so that we look after each other. It's time to start caring about the health of others, not just our own. Okay, so if we all do that, you see, we can fight this thing. Remember, together we're stronger. If you have any questions, if you want me to help you with a bespoke nutrition and supplementation plan, please get in touch with me. If you need some further advice, if you have any questions, you can find me on Amanda YOURBODYFIT on social media, on Instagram. You can message me on Facebook. You can reply to this email. You can reply to this video. I'm more than happy to help. And let's fight this thing the right way. Have a great week ahead, everyone. And please remember, you're not alone. If you need any help, reach out. Bye.